Check this out. DJ Akademiks should punch himself in the face. It's all happening. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when drinking too much Henny on Twitch. Perhaps that was the igniter for DJ Akademiks' latest dust-up. If you're just catching up, the popular commentator inflamed the culture by stating that hip-hop's pioneers are dusty and broke during a recent live stream. Here's a clip.
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Them old rappers, man, them niggas, bro, have you seen any of these old rappers who be like, yo, they're the foundation of hip-hop really living good? Them niggas be looking really dusty. I kid you not. And then none of y'all try to come for me because I don't fuck with y'all niggas either. So I'm just tell y'all the truth. Y'all be looking like, every time they be like an old nigga talking about hip hop, you be like, yo, bro, you sure you invented this? Because everybody else living better than you. Facts.
Yeezus. Now, in actuality, Ak didn't have to make that comment about pioneers at all. He was talking about the music industry today and how surrounding financial opportunities supersede those of previous eras. He was talking about Glorilla and how she's so lit right now she could make $100,000 a month off Instagram shoutouts alone if she wasn't signed to CMG. And he likened it to the NBA and NBA players signing $300 million contracts, which was unheard of decades ago. It was actually a pretty apt assessment. Why he threw in that statement about pioneers, only the Henny knows. But what you throw into the wind can end up smacking you in the face. And a cyclone of digital pimp slaps battered the controversial rap commentator like Hurricane Fiona. Check this out. Old Head Energy said on Twitter, Akademiks has money and still looks broke and dusty. Yeezus. MC Shan on IG. But for you to speak in vain about those that made it possible for you to feed your kids, F you, and I agree with everybody that said it before, you ungrateful, ignorant ass, agent for the devil looking ass. Yeezus. MC Sha-Rock, the first female MC in hip hop history, took major issue with Akademiks, conveying to his massive audience that because the pioneers didn't become millionaires and billionaires, they hold no value. She told Kyle Eustace at HipHopDX, it's true that we didn't receive the fruits of our labor. However, it does not negate from the billion-dollar businesses that we created for future men, women, and youth to prosper from. Real rap. LL Cool J addressed the word vomit for a smooth 6.5 minutes, confronting the disrespect directly. Here's a clip.
Today, you could come up with your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, your 20-year plan. You can go find a manager, you can find an accountant, you could find somebody that means something to you, to help you. You could find a team to help your career go to the next level. When hip hop first started, there were no managers. There were no accountants that believed in it. Record companies didn't even believe in it. Nobody believed in it. How can you make a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan on something that doesn't even exist yet? When you go out there and you go monetize your brand, when you go get your whatever and do what you got to do to build your career, when you go out there and negotiate your deals and negotiate your checks and talk tough, guess what? That money, that bread, that food that you eating was created by those same people that you disrespecting. That industry was created by them same people that you call in, foul words. I'm all about getting paper. I've been talking about it my whole career. But don't ever, ever, ever confuse being rich with making a contribution to our culture. Don't ever play yourself like that again.
When you go monetize your brand, when you go negotiate your deals and negotiate your checks and talk tough, guess what? That food you eating was created by those same people that you disrespecting. That industry was created by them same people that you calling, foul words. Too much truth. Now, Akademiks has a long history of conflict and controversial situations. Freddie Gibbs has a major problem with Akademiks' coverage and comments, Game as well. Akademiks was Tekashi 6ix9ine's biggest advocate. He spent years promoting the Brooklyn rapper who's a offender. He pled guilty to the use of a child in a performance. He got probation for that. And during a separate highly publicized trial, Tekashi struck a deal with the feds by testifying against his 9 Trey Blood cohorts. He only served 2 years despite pleading guilty to 9 charges, including conspiracy to commit murder and armed robbery. Akademiks ensured 6ix9ine, a convicted offender who turned federal witness, received steady support on his large platform, a platform which was built primarily off his extremely polarizing and I'd argue detrimental YouTube channel War in Sha-Rock, which was completely dedicated to Chicago gang violence, despite the fact that Ak isn't from the Chi, wasn't a member of any of the gangs, and was reporting from the safety of his home in New Jersey. He called it satire. The culture called it destructive. And in at least one Twitch rant, he tried to claim credit for building the reputations of the rappers caught in the melee. He said, somebody said Chief Keef made you. I helped make Keef. I gave them the rep that they never had. I called him the Sha-Rock Grim Reaper. That's why when he's getting shot at and it's happening to him, y'all are looking at it in disbelief. You know why? Because I created the illusion that he was untouchable. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I've done a lot to create narratives and help rappers themselves. Wild. So this is who Akademiks has shown himself to be. A self-serving one-man glitch in the media matrix willing to sensationalize any issue, whether destructive or otherwise. One who'll pal around with a convicted offender, aggressively promote him on his platform, then gaslight his audience into believing that he's actually helping rappers/gang members by broadcasting their real-world life or death situations and play like he don't realize that he ain't doing nothing but holding a lighter to a jerry curl. And as expected, when confronted with the fact that he was out of line by calling pioneers broke and dusty in what was otherwise a pretty solid Twitch stream, Akademiks ranted like a bloated Candace Owens.
Now, cause I owe y'all something. Y'all never gave me shit. I don't care about y'all like that. So I'm gonna treat y'all, whether y'all LL, whether y'all young bands, whether y'all any nigga in the game, I'm gonna treat y'all how it is. Y'all niggas didn't grandfather me in the game, and it's a new game going on. Cause niggas is popping up from all over this place. Thank God to the internet. Y'all niggas is doing weird shit, fucking each other, doing all type of demonic, criminal shit, just to get people in the game. Now niggas can just get an internet connection and get popping and get people to fuck with him. I don't want to hear none of y'all niggas tell me how I should be acting. And if y'all are opposed to that, bro, we just not on the same page.
Because I'm Ak, I owe y'all something, y'all never gave me shit, it's a new game going on. Still digging it. Now, to be fair, Ak also pointed out that in his opinion, he feels the pioneers dropped the ball by not teaching financial literacy to the younger generations. I think that's moving the goalpost from what he originally said. He wasn't talking about financial literacy. He was picking on the pioneers because he thinks they broke and dusty. Either way, LL Cool J already addressed that in his IG post. How are you gonna teach financial literacy around a product that nobody believes in? Hip-hop was a niche market. But look, generational conflict is nothing new to hip-hop. Even LL's an example of that. He made a classic diss track in 1990 called To the Break of Dawn, where he took aim at MC Hammer, Ice-T, and Kool Moe Dee. LL was 6 to 10 years younger than each of them, and in the track he had lines like, "Made another million so competitors bow," and "Cause my old gym teacher ain't supposed to rap," and "Give me a lighter, woof, now you're cut loose from that Jerry curl juice." Where'd you think I got that reference from? Here's another example. In 2008, Ice-T oddly verbally attacked Soulja Boy. This really happened. Soulja Boy was minding his teenage business, cranking out hits and Superman and them hoes. Then on his mixtape, Urban Legend, Ice-T said, "Soulja Boy, I know you're young enough to be my kid, but you single-handedly killed hip-hop. Killed hip-hop. That shit is such garbage. You can't do that. We came all the way from Rakim, we came all the way from DOS Effects, and you come with that Superman shit. You niggas is making me feel real fucking mad about this shit. We took it all the way to khakis and straps, and you niggas looking happy, man. That shit's whack." Apparently in 2008, it was whack to be happy. Soulja Boy, who is the pioneer of YouTube rap, by the way, the pioneer of YouTube rap, he ethered Ice-T in where else? A YouTube video. He said, "You were born before the internet was created. How the fuck did you even find me?" It was hilarious. It was one of the most awful and awesome rap beefs ever, and it ran across generational lines. One generation not liking how another generation's moving. And it's always gone both upstream and downstream. It's as ingrained as hip-hop's competitive nature. The point is this: Akademiks' comments reach way past that, but they also don't make sense. Everything looks dusty if you look to the past. Have you ever seen a big back television? Looks pretty dusty. When the pioneers were laying it down, Fantastic Romantic, Cold Crush Brothers, Grandmaster Flash, they were the richest, most successful, some of the wealthiest people in their hood. Take any person from any field of human endeavor that Akademiks would say looks wealthy and rewind one generation. In Black culture, you're most likely going to see people in the projects. Now rewind 4 or 5 generations. Everyone's going to be in chains on plantations in the South or the Caribbean. Akademiks is from Jamaica, by the way. By his logic, it's not credible that a group of slaves could generate Rihanna or Jay-Z or Diddy or LeBron or whoever. It's like, yo, slave, you sure you invented black people? Because everybody else is looking better than y'all. Facts. But that's exactly what happened over time. And that last analogy, that wasn't me. That's Harry Allen, hip-hop activist and media assassin. Harry Allen is one of the most important voices in the history of the culture. He's one of the most important journalists. He's one of the most important advocates. He's also an affiliate of the legendary Public Enemy. Harry and I discussed the looming issue, the macro issue around all of this, for argument's sake. Let's say hip-hop's pioneers are broke and dusty. Well, the question is why? Why would this art form that's generated billions if not trillions of dollars worldwide leave its pioneers in that condition? Here's what Harry Allen offered. But there's also a perspective which says hip-hop is so transformative to so many people on so many levels that the correct, humane response from a grateful body politic, the descendants of these forebears, would be to make sure they want for nothing. What we consider acceptable in any society is an outcome of what that society considers normal. Paradoxically, what we consider normal is just what we accept. Arguably, we should consider anyone who piles money while people starve insane. In a sense, an industry that smiles in the faces of 65-year-old men as they reap hundreds of millions of dollars from their innovations is psychopathic. We should not tolerate this as a thinking adult people. If we are such. In a sense, an industry that smiles in the faces of 65-year-old men as they reap hundreds of millions of dollars from their innovations is psychopathic. Psychopathic. We should not tolerate this as a thinking adult people if we are such. Harry Allen, undefeated. Look, as ignorant and as anti-credible as Akademiks' comments on hip-hop pioneers truly are, hip-hop is founded in community. And as a community, have we done all we can to ensure our founders of this culture we all say we love are financially set so that so-called DJs aren't in a position to refer to them as broke and dusty? I mean, if you really think about this, is Akademiks truly here because of hip-hop? Truly here because of hip-hop? Or is he in the position he's in because he celebrated gang violence in Chicago from the safety of his dorm room in New Jersey? I don't have the answer to these questions.
Static selector.
Saturday, another TBD. Thank you guys for rocking with me each week. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna keep this one brief because my memory card broke halfway through this shoot and I had to make an emergency run to Walmart to finish this piece. So I'm behind on my editing and I wanna knock that out because I gotta make the deadline in the morning so you guys can see this piece. So I'll start with thank yous. Big thank you to Harry Allen, the media assassin. Thank you for lending your perspective and thank you for lending your words and agreeing to do this. I'm honored and I'm humbled, sir. I really appreciate it. Big thank you to the analysts. Gotta shout out the analysts. Big shout out to Bryson Townsend Kilo. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Chaco Kicks. Shout out to Chaco Kicks. Thank you, Chaco Kicks. Big thank you to Brian Boyle. Brian Boyle, appreciate you, Brian Boyle. And yes, Brian, I do have that episode of the All Out Show, the top 3 album episode. I do have that. I'll upload that and I'll probably, you know what, maybe I'll just send it to you before I send it to everybody else. That might be something good to do. I think people do that. Big thank you to Alexander Falstock. I hope I'm not pronouncing these names wrong. And as always, Jeremy Buego, Jake LaMotta, Ethan McNew. All these analysts have contributed to the link tree and supported the channel, so thank you so much. It's priceless and means everything to me. I want to know what you guys think about the conversation at hand. You know, obviously what Akademiks said and your perspective on that. There's a lot of people who are actually on Akademiks' side that I saw online as well. So if you agreed with Akademiks or you don't think it's that big of a deal, we want to hear from you too. Also, analysts, I want to know what you think about generational divide in hip hop. This is something that happens all the time. And I think there's some of that in here. I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I've seen it go upstream and downstream. To a degree, if you've been told by old heads that your type of hip hop isn't real hip hop, you could feel that, you're affected by that. And just as if you're an older statesman, or if you're a legendary artist from a different era, and you're getting told that your type of hip hop doesn't matter by the younger generation, you can feel that too. So that's why I added that little piece in there in the middle. And I do think it's wild that the founders, some of the founders, aren't in a better financial situation. So I want to shout out a couple of organizations that I think are doing a great job in changing that going forward. One's the Universal Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx. The mission of the Universal Hip Hop Museum in the Bronx is to celebrate and preserve the history of local and global hip hop to inspire, empower, and promote understanding. They take donations on their website. I'll make sure to put a link in the description. And another one I think is really cool. Chuck D and KRS-One, they formed a hip hop union. They actually launched it in July. It's a nonprofit organization whose mission is to promote fair wages, fair royalties, and strong and health and retirement benefits for artists in the hip hop and R&B community. So there's two organizations that you can donate to that I support. I think that some of the challenges that we've seen in the past should not go forward. So take a look at those. I'll make sure to put the links in description. My name is Justin Hunt. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow @TheCompanyMan on everything. Hit that bell, hit that bell. It's all happening.